What is up, YouTube? What is up? What is up? What is up? Okay. All right, my first live stream on YouTube. Go follow the Twitch, subscribe. I was live on Twitch earlier. I might be going live again tomorrow probably. But we are going to be reacting to some YouTube videos. Mainly horror stories. So let's get right into it. Let's see. I gotta find a good video. I like you. I do. Oh my god. Y'all know superpowers, right? Oh, you got powers. Hey, and beginning. Do you even know how to wield them? Ask us children. I'm special, but not like you. No, not like you. Alright, my bad, y'all. Okay. Put in, whoa. I low-key want to watch this, but that's off topic. I blew her brain. Wow, Vaughn. Wow, Vaughn. Vaughn! Okay. Oh my god, why? Oh my. Oh, do y'all see that dog? Yeah, I'm not watching that. How to beat Texas Chainsaw Massacre. How do you beat Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Oh, I remember I used to watch this kid. Okay, let's see. Any good videos? This is my favorite channel. Horror Shorts Party. Oh my god. School lockdown horror stories. I want to watch this one. This one actually looks interesting.
For 80 years, this credit union has served the military, veterans, and our local community.
Who's wearing this to school? Like, to be honest, who buys their merch and, like, actually wears it as an everyday? Like, who's wearing that outside? They're gonna get, like, arrested or something. That's AI. Who's wearing that? They're gonna scare literally the whole town away. Who's wearing that? No one's wearing that. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. Don't mind the laundry. It's cool. Oh, I didn't even get to read it. Let's just go back and read it. Okay. I skipped a little head.
Lockdown. This is an emergency alert. Lockdown.
I don't know why I want to read the disclaimer so bad. It says, disclaimer, do not react to dub my videos without emailed permission. Use of any audio or affiliate animation of these videos on YouTube or any associated platform is not, as it is violating copyright laws in a copyright strike. This video channel are intended for mature audiences only. PG-13. The videos contain graphic measure. Okay. Yo, what's up, Turbo?
Lockdown. This is an emergency alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go into
True School Lockdown Horror Story 1, narrated by Bond and Imaginary. Additional voiced upon
the nearest room or building. Lock the door and turn off all lights. Wait for the all clear from school officials or local authorities. Lockdown.
Growing up in a tiny community like mine, you hear about all this crazy stuff on the news, these massacres and tragedies day after day, but you think that'll never happen here. A day came.
That's what I thought, and then one kid threatened to shoot up my school. And he went to the school too. There was this one random kid on the 3rd floor, and he threatened to shoot up our school. So he had to, his parents were forced to move away or they would get arrested, and so would he. And he would be, like, after he got out, he would get put into, like, foster care because the parents didn't think he was, like, yeah.
Game that not one of us will ever forget. I was in school watching the minutes go by, waiting until I could finally go home. I excused myself from class to go to the bathroom, but I didn't really have to go. I just wanted to look at my phone for a few minutes without the risk of it getting confiscated. Luckily, the girls' room was completely empty. I took the stall, second from the end.
Look at that jawline. I know, Turbo, that is crazy.
While scrolling through Snapchat, I tapped through a bunch of people's stories, but one person had quite a few more posts than anybody else. They were absent that day, and whenever they stayed home,
I'm sorry, but look at that build. How do you achieve this? Oh my god. Look at their teeth. They're, oh my god. Well, why do they have a freaking AK with a scope in their hand? Is that eyeliner? Or whatever they called it, blush? I don't know. What is going on with their hair? And what are these emojis?
from school, which was quite often, they always did a bunch of schizo posting. Growing up, their name was Jesse, and
I'm not even trying to be rude in any way. Look at those rolls. Can we get a zoom on those rolls, bro? Look at those rolls. Though, oh my god.
until they came out as transgender and
Why is there blood all over them now? That is something I would see in my nightmares.
started going by the name Jennifer. I changed their name on Snapchat, but otherwise, I didn't really care. I wasn't friends with them, just acquaintances because everybody knew everybody. What matters is, completely regardless of their gender, Jennifer
Why are they just shaking like that, tapping their feet?
was a nutcase. They were crazy before transitioning, and they were just as unpopular afterwards. After being on my phone for a few minutes, I decided to finish up before my teacher got suspicious. Just as I was starting to finally piss, someone walked into the bathroom. I couldn't tell if they were a teacher or a student. They were being oddly quiet. It sounded like they went into a stall, but I didn't hear it close or anything like that. Of course, I had no reason to be overly cautious, so I wrapped up and exited the stall. Right as I walked out of it, a loud sound started reverberating through the bathroom. Someone had started pissing. Then
I don't know why I find that so funny, but like, why are they just saying it like that?
I took another couple steps and passed by a stall I thought was empty. But even though the door was open, it was absolutely
That's a long pee, dang.
occupied. I saw none other than Jennifer pissing while standing.
What is this back angle, bro?
Up in full view. It took everything I had to not stop and stare
Why is she just standing there and looking? Close the stall door or something.
in shock. I forced myself to continue to the sink and wash my hands. Jennifer had enough time to finish her business at the
Oh my god. This is actually horrifying. Blood everywhere. Face rolls. Looks like she's supposed to be 70 years old. With all
play outside.
It's too cold.
I want to go play.
It's too cold.
But how am I gonna play?
I don't know.
But I don't want to play in here.
Then don't play.
I want to play outside.
It's cold outside. We can't go outside.
I'm not coming back in your room.
Okay, bye. Anyway.
Toilet and started washing her hands in the
Put my headphones.
Do you see those rolls hanging off of their neck? Yes, bro. She hasn't slept in years. Look, how do you achieve this build? Like, you have to train for this to achieve a back arch like this. It looks like she has a hunchback. How do you achieve this build? Rolls, neck. I've never seen anybody with neck rolls.
sink next to mine. That's when I saw the blood. A shocking
So you were looking at them in the stall. You watched them walk out, and then when they start washing their hands, you finally realize that they have blood on them.
amount of it, all over her. My hands froze under the tap. It didn't take long for Jennifer to catch me staring either. She then looked directly in my eye, a sickening smirk on her face. I couldn't tell what was going through her head. When Jennifer turned off the faucet, she also reached over to shut off my sink as well. This action brought her close to my face.
Ew! If that was in my face, I probably would have punched Jennifer. Jennifer, what you prefer? I know you playing games, that's how it works. The first girl that I love, first girl that I heard. I'm calling for you, Jennifer. Oh my. Okay, my bad. But that's actually disgusting.
Close enough for me to smell the pungent sweat in her pits. That, and the distinct metallic stench of blood. It wasn't paint, and she hadn't gotten all of it off yet. When she whispered to me, I knew there was no right answer. Every word was sealing my fate.
What are you staring at, princess?
Nothing. I don't have a problem with you being in here, I swear.
Really? Don't tell me you're not used to the sight of blood.
Ooh, I might play this in one of my litters.
It's not that. I'm not used to people using the bathroom with the door open. That's all.
Did I forget to close it? Man, my bad. I was just practicing my aim. How would you like to help me with target practice?
Practicing my aim.
A chill ran through my whole body. Regardless of what she meant, I wasn't sticking around to find out. I immediately turned around and ran. I sprinted down the hallway, not looking back until I was at the stairwell. My plan was to just make sure that she didn't follow me back to my class, maybe double back across the second floor. But then, I saw her, not running.
Exactly. I don't think that's how you practice your aim, bro.
But just then, exiting the bathroom, she looked at me across the distance with a look on her face I'll never forget.
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't have been standing there. I would have been down the hallway already. I would have bust a left, bust a right, bust a left, bust a right, bust a left. I would have already been gone. I'm not gonna be standing there watching Jennifer with an AK in her hand, getting ready to blow my brains out. Absolutely not.
Then she crossed the hall and entered the classroom I came from. A moment later, the shots started. I was no hero.
Run! Run! I would have been out of that school the second I heard a shot go off. Not even the second I saw a gun. I'm out of that school.
Any chance I might have had to warn people was long gone, and doing so might have gotten me killed anyway. I saw my exit, and I took it. By the time the massacre was over, she had killed 8 people. The first 2 were at her house. The blood I saw her washing from her hands belonged to them. Then, she came to school and killed 6 more before taking the easy way out. Like a coward, she made sure she would never stand trial, never face justice for what she did, if she even had any. All we know is that our town will never be the same, and I can't stop thinking about how close I came to being one of her victims. This story was inspired by a horrific incident regarding a teenage suspect involved in a mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge. Police say the 18-year-old suspect was Jesse Van Rootseller, who was found dead on the scene, took out 8 people, and then
Okay, they overdid it because the person that was supposed to be killing everybody in the video, they looked absolutely hideous. I'm sorry. This just looks like a normal person. In the video, they had neck rolls, wrinkles, freaking, I don't even know.
Doing the unthinkable to themselves. The suspect had been the subject of a number of police visits in recent years because of mental health issues and used to have a firearms license. It is unclear who owned the firearms used in the attack or what the motive was. 5 students and a teacher were taken.
What do you mean what the motive was? When the motive was to kill people? Yes, bro. They literally looked like Shrek.
Out, and at least 25 others were injured at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. 2 others, the suspect's mother and stepbrother, were found dead at a nearby home when the attack began. Van Rootseller was born a biological male, but identified as a female.
Okay, maybe they didn't overdo it. No, I'm joking.
A 2021 Facebook post from the suspect's mother, Jennifer Strang, described how the teenager was infatuated with firearms.
Lockdown. This is an emergency alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go into the nearest room or building.
As a school resource officer, I'm tasked with maintaining order in an active community of nearly 1,000 students.
How did... It looks like I clicked on a whole new video. Did they get a new editor?
Recently, a case of bullying has become of particular interest. For one reason or another, got a target painted on his back. He's been picked on and humiliated by...
What happened to him? Wait. I actually feel bad because his glasses are down. He don't even have the things to go in his ears. Looks like he got lipstick put on him, maybe punched right there, maybe embarrassed.
Dozens of different students through various means and over an extended period of time. He's never fought back. They take his kindness for weakness and abuse it. Unfortunately, almost everything I've tried to do to remedy the situation before it went critical ended up in a terrible feedback loop. All the offending students I punished simply fed into an intensified hatred of Ivan. With little other option, I've resorted to just protecting Ivan the best I can. One day, Ivan just snapped. It was quiet that day. It must have been around 1 o'clock. Suddenly, my radio crackled, and a panicked voice shattered the quiet.
Barnes, hurry! Get to building!
The lockdown alarm rang. I tried to turn up my radio and asked them to repeat, but it was too late. The sounds of panic, fleeing, and screaming were pouring in from the hall, and whoever that...
Who's running like this? I'm gonna flash edit. I'm gonna black flash edit.
Their hands were way too full to get back to me. I couldn't hear the location, but the voice sounded familiar. I decided to make my way to that teacher's classroom on the other side of campus.
So he's just standing there watching everyone run instead of him running himself. Like, I would have been, like, what I said about the last story, I would have been out of there. He's just standing there.
As I stepped out of the break room, I entered the hallway in the last moments of the scramble for cover. Everyone was following the drills, but under the ensuing radio silence, I couldn't get any more information. Quickly, I hustled across the school, my weapon already drawn.
He got that little pistol. What that gonna do with if they just pull up with a whole sniper and shoot his big head off? Then what? Fried.
Moment by moment, I cleared section after section. I knew reinforcements would be on their way, but they would be waiting on my call to enter the building. There was a chance that going in too brashly would lead to more panic and further casualties. It was up to me, but it was so damn quiet. My ears were ringing, my heart pounding in my head. It had been years since I felt the pressure this on. But why? For all I knew, this was a false alarm. But something in my gut said otherwise, ripping me right out of my head. I rounded a corner and saw there was a student at the far end of the hall. They had a knife.
How you gonna do like a school incident with a knife? Like, if you're gonna do a school incident, you have to at least bring like a
in their hand. They were covered in blood, and they were facing me, alone, as if they
True, I would have boom, 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 boom.
heard me coming. Instantly, my arms rose up to point my gun downrange at the target. My finger touched the trigger, but then I stopped. I lowered my gun. It was Ivan. The look on his face was haunting.
That's not just haunting. How did he go from a little innocent kid to now his teeth are so small? They're not even social distancing. They're clumped together. His eyes got bigger. His face got redder. And his eyelids are a little messed up.
The only person he had hurt so far was himself. His forearms were gashed right down the middle. I started moving forward. This alarmed Ivan, prompting him to raise the knife at me and start spewing his threats.
Stay away from me! I'll kill you too!
Is Broski cool? Get away from me! I'll kill you! That's what I would have done.
Take it easy, Ivan. It's just me. We're friends, remember? I'm not gonna hurt you. Don't call me that! You're not my friend! You don't give a shit about me! Come on, Ivan. You know that's not true. I've always looked out for you. I'm sorry about whatever happened. Then prove it! Drop your gun! Do it now! Alright, I'm dropping my gun.
After closing in about 20 feet, I stopped momentarily to take a knee and place my gun on the ground. Then I kept going. I could see from this distance that Ivan was shaking.
You see, I did it. Now it's your turn. Put down the knife, Ivan. Now! We can work this out, Ivan, but only if we're both unarmed, okay? You're lying! You just want to put me in prison! You won't go to jail, not unless you hurt someone. We can take you to some place to get help. I don't want their help!
In a split second, one of my worst fears became reality. Ivan put the blade to his throat, with nobody else around to threaten. He thought this was his only leverage, but I still took a chance. I was so close. As soon as I saw him hesitate, I pushed forward.
Stay back! I'll do it! This is on you!
I know you don't want to do that, Ivan. Just give me the knife.
Stay away! Ivan, please!
Out of nowhere, the knife came back toward me. Time froze, and the next moment I remember, I had Ivan's wrist in my hand, nearly crushing it, holding back the knife just inches from my neck. Had he been any stronger, had I been any slower, a very different sight might have been my last. However, in that moment, Ivan knew he had no other path forward but to comply. With my free hand, I wrenched the knife from his grasp. He offered no resistance to it. His body went limp, barely standing. I tossed the knife behind my back. and put my arm around under his shoulders to support him before he fell. The blood loss, the adrenaline, the extreme emotions, all of it took a toll on him. With Ivan finally restrained, I arrested him under the Baker Act, giving him a bit of...
He could easily. All he gotta do is fold his hands like this. He could slip right out. Right out.
grace from criminal charges. He's been out of school for a while now, recovering in a mental health facility I won't disclose. I hope he's doing better now, because I'll never forget the moment he almost threw his life away. Rockville High School was briefly locked down and a classroom was evacuated, as a school resource officer convinced a student to turn over the small pocket knife he had. School staff alerted the school resource officer at 1:35 p.m., and staff members were able to quickly evacuate the other students from the classroom. According to police, the student had some cuts on his arms, and the school resource officer convinced him to turn over the knife peacefully after about 30 minutes. The school lockdown lasted for around 10 minutes. An ambulance brought the student to a local hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. Police are investigating, and no charges have been filed at this time.
Lockdown, lockdown. This is an emergency alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go into the nearest room or building.
I don't have a lot of friends at school. One of the few friends I have, this kid named Zach, he's a full-blown
I already know it's gonna be about him. I already know it's gonna be about him. Why is one eye like this and the other one is like this closed? I already don't like
it. Kids either bully him or go out of their way to avoid him. Unlike me, he's just too weird and creepy to...
Absolutely not. Why? Oh, no. I think they just caught them on the very, very wrong angle. Yeah, it's definitely him. Okay, and
fade into the background.
Him,
he basically came up to me and decided we were going to be friends on the first day of freshman year. And ever since then, I've just had to tolerate him. I always joke with my friends online that I only keep him around because if I'm his friend, he might warn me not to come to school the next day in case the bullying finally makes him snap. One day...
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is he gonna do something bad?
That joke became a reality. There was no warning, no signs of declining mental state. I was probably the first person at school to get any indication that Zach was up to something. It started out like any other day. I had just got off the bus, and I was waiting to get breakfast in the cafeteria, when Zach suddenly pulled me out of the line to tell me something. He was wearing the same clothes he always did. His worn-out backpack clinched all the way up to his shoulders, but something else was there too. He had a new, different bag slung under his arm. It was black and sturdy, but too small to fit a laptop or even a regular-sized notebook. I didn't have to bring it up either, because it was all he wanted to talk about.
Dude, you're gonna make me miss breakfast. What do you want?
Shh, just be quiet and take this. I need you to keep it a secret for me.
Your brand new bag? Wait, did you steal it?
No, it's mine. I just have to get rid of it for a bit.
Well, what's in it? It's a camera, a really expensive one. So promise me you won't open it. And you brought it to school, why?
Look, I was just trying to take pictures of some girls for, but then a couple of guys saw me and now they want to smash my camera and kick my ass.
Ha, sounds like you deserve it, you creep.
Shit! I gotta run. Take this and don't look in it.
As fast as he appeared, Zach shoved the bags into his hands and bolted. I looked around for that group of angry guys chasing after him, but I didn't see anyone except the people in line who had witnessed our entire interaction. Not sure what else to do, I put the bag over my shoulder and went to the back of the line. As I waited, I started to feel how heavy it was from the strain on my shoulder. I got breakfast, then went to class, trying to ignore the extra weight I was carrying. Minute after minute, it was all I thought about, until I finally couldn't resist the urge any longer. In the middle of class, I slowly and quietly opened the zipper by a few inches, then looked inside. My worst nightmare came true right in front of my eyes. There was a gun in the bag.
I knew it.
Immediately, my skin felt like it was on fire, and I started sweating profusely. I was afraid if I bumped the bag the wrong way, the thing inside might randomly go off. After 20 more agonizing minutes, that class period ended, and I had my chance. On the way to my next class, I walked by a bush and placed the bag behind it as discreetly as I could. I planned to tell Zach where I stashed it. A few hours later, school was almost over. Once I left, I'd be home free. But the school had other plans. Suddenly, someone got on the intercom and said the school was in lockdown. I started freaking out all over again.
With delicious rewards, you earn points for doing what you love. Digging into your Culver's favorites. Yum! Earn 10.
I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't let anyone know. I had to keep quiet and follow instructions. The teacher locked the door, turned out the lights, then directed us all under our desks. We hid there, as many kids whispered and wondered if our school was next in the string of recent shootings. Meanwhile, I was silently terrified that someone had found the bag and was using the gun inside the school. As we began to hear screaming in the halls, the mood shifted. We all still hoped it was just some stupid kids playing a crude joke, but it seemed like blood was really being spilled out there. Then, after almost an hour, the lockdown was lifted. Despite how grim things seemed, nothing bad had actually happened. I left the class.
And then you hear, just like you walk into the classroom, you hear, fall, fall, fall.
With everyone a few minutes later. Then I started making my way to the buses. And yeah, just before I was able to step onto the bus, 2 police officers stopped me and told me to come with them. They led me to the principal's office, where a dozen other cops and school administrators were waiting for me. Just my luck, someone had found the bag, and I was right there on camera, stashing it. I flipped on Zach instantly, not caring about him at all, just wanting him to take the blame for the shit he dragged me into. Of course, even though Zach got arrested for bringing the gun, I couldn't afford getting taken into custody either. I'm in nearly as much trouble as him for knowing about it and not reporting it. All this time, I was friends with Zach as a safety measure, just for him to ruin my life. This school lockdown story was inspired by an incident involving 2 students who have been charged following a weapons call that forced the lockdown of 3 Port Colborne, Ontario schools. Niagara police say Port Colborne High, Still Street, and McKay Public were placed into hold and secure protocol amid.
What are these names? I've never heard them before. What are these names? Apparently they weren't cooked. It was just that one kid and his friend because of the gun. But
reports of a student with a firearm. Investigators say a gun wasn't located inside Port Colborne High, near Still High, and Elkin Street after a thorough search with a K-9 unit. However, one would be seized at a location outside the learning facility. There were no injuries in the incident, and students were sent home early. The 2 students are facing charges connected with possessing a firearm. One of the teens has an...
Well, the guy that was given the firearm, it's not really his fault because he was given it. But it makes sense that he got in trouble because he didn't report the firearm. I was expecting that to go away.
Additional charge for careless use of a firearm.
Oh my God! What is this? Check out my merch, please. I don't think I want to after seeing that. Okay, I think we're just gonna take a break from that. But alright, YouTube, that'll be the end of the stream. I might get on a little bit later. Go follow my Twitch because I'm live every day on Twitch. But I will be back later